What's happening, Street Scores family? It's your boy Rico bringing y'all another film session. This time it's Geron Christian, offensive tackle out of Louisville. I'm sorry for the delayed videos. Very busy these past couple of weeks, helping family move over the course of a week. Job interviews, you know how that go. But I managed to find some time to get this done. I wanted to get this out to y'all as soon as possible so I can hurry up and get this Darius Geis and Daron Payne film. But anyway, let's get it. Sadly, it was really hard to find any film session on Geron Christian. There was one game in 2017, one in 2016. So I would have to use Lamar Jackson film session. So they didn't give me an indicator. And even on his film sessions, his personal ones, they didn't give me an indicator of exactly where he was. So I would have to watch some plays 3 or 4 times trying to figure out like what number is that. Y'all know this film is kind of blurry. But I got it done. I made sure when I was writing my notes and I finally found out which one he was, I wrote down exactly which tackle position he was at, because he doesn't play one singular tackle position. He switches between left and right in the middle of games. He'll go 3 snaps at left, 4 snaps at right, go back 2 at left, then 5 at right. It's crazy. But we're here for his good footwork and his ability to handle speedy edge rushers because of his footwork. Geron Christian is located right here, number 74. And I just want y'all to see how smooth his footwork is as he gets to the outside. His footwork looks smooth. He keeps his back straight, great posture. Feet are shoulder width apart throughout the blocking movement. Feet and shoulders are aligned to make a good base. Heads up, and his knees are bent the entire time. Great looking block. But we're really here to see how he's covering ground to halt the speed outside rush. A lot of offensive linemen would trip over themselves trying to do this right here, and he makes it look smooth. He used to be a standout basketball player, and you can see it. He managed to keep his stance solid and consistent while moving that far over to counter that speedy outside rush. And he usually doesn't get his hands in the chest of rushers, but this time he did, and it was beautiful. Geron Christian is located right here, and he is very good at countering speedy edge rushers. You see the footwork again, but we're here for his athleticism. This athleticism is rare. He just simply guides the edge rusher out of the play and does it so smoothly. He runs edge rushers out and around the pocket, giving Lamar Jackson a nice little pocket to throw in. Now his other linemen let Nas down, and Lamar Jackson has to be Lamar Jackson just to avoid getting a 4-yard loss. But Geron Christian handled his job. He has this speedy edge rusher out here wasting his time trying to get to Lamar Jackson. Geron Christian is located right here, again, right tackle. And I just wanted to show y'all another example of how great he is at countering speedy edge rushers, just to prove the point that this is a consistent thing. This is what he does. This is what he's best at. Watch as he completely takes this man out of the play. Look at that. This almost doesn't look fair. A lot of offensive linemen do not have this athleticism, footwork, balance, and arm length to do this. Geron Christian simply just takes him out of the play, and he's just out here looking like, how did I go from here to here that fast? Why did I not matter? But what's even crazier is that Geron Christian does this so smoothly and consistently. Footwork, back straight, hands extended, remove him out the play. Knees constantly bent to allow himself to have some leverage. It's just not fair. Now, I mentioned earlier that he does play both tackle positions on the line, but I didn't mention is that he plays them both very well. It's a seamless transition, whether he's the right tackle or the left tackle. There's no drop off in production, talent, athleticism, footwork, any of that. This is the same drive as the first 2 plays I showed y'all. He is now at the left tackle position, and watch how he just locks up this Mississippi State defensive end just like he would at the right tackle position. He didn't miss a beat. I want better hand placement here, but I'll talk about that later. Right now, I want to focus on the fact that he can win his battles on either side of the line. No loss of footwork, no loss of balance, no loss of quickness. And most importantly, no loss of production. That man is out of the play. He didn't matter. Now, even though he doesn't do this consistently, I wanted to show y'all an example of how he has the potential to be coached up to do it consistently, because he can handle violent and active rusher hands, but it's not very consistent. He is located at the right tackle position. The edge rusher tried to go outside, then hit Geron with a simple swipe to make a move back to the inside, but Geron's footwork and balance are exceptional and smooth, and he is able to bounce back to his left to stop the rusher from getting any closer to Lamar Jackson. I mean, even look at the balance he has after the swipe comes. That's a pretty decent swipe. And he got tossed a little bit with it, but he had the footwork and balance to stay in front of him, keep him out of Lamar Jackson's way. Now, he doesn't do this consistently, but I wanted to show y'all an example of how he has the traits and potential to consistently beat counter moves from edge rushers. Just needs a little bit of coaching, time, and experience. Now, here's another trait that he does not use consistently, but you see the potential. Even though he doesn't use it consistently, located at the left tackle position, he can take advantage of having 35-inch arms and bully edge rushers. Keep them away from your body so you can control them without them being able to control you any. Long arms can annoy edge rushers. Look at him extend right there. And now the edge rusher has no chance. At around this point, he starts to extend, and the edge rusher can do nothing. And Lamar Jackson has a beautiful pocket to throw a ball. Just overthrown. But that's not Geron Christian's fault at all. He did his part. I just want him to do this more consistently. But Bill Callahan will get that out of him once it's drilled in his head enough. Alright, now here's some film from the Lamar Jackson versus Clemson tape, and Geron is located at the left tackle position. And I just love the fact that he went and found somebody to block after he had nobody to block. Strong mental attribute. As the play started, he noticed that this defender right here dropped back in coverage, so he analyzed the situation, scanned the field, and made sure there was no corner or linebacker blitzing his way. And then he went and helped the left guard with his blocking assignment. And I also like that he didn't just go hand check the defensive tackle. He actually stepped up and fully blocked them, fully engaged them. He took over his blocking assignment with aggression. Don't necessarily like the hand placement again, but he got it done. And the added benefit of this is that he freed up the left guard to be able to go help either the center or go and block a late blitzer. Like right here, he has time to find somebody else to block. So it's like a domino effect of productivity because Geron Christian has the mental aptitude to go and find somebody to block rather than just sit there and look clueless. Thank you, Geron, for not being like, well, I have nobody to block, so I guess I'll just sit here and look busy and just like a lot of y'all do at y'all jobs on a daily basis. He went there and found some extra work to do. Employee of the month stuff right there. I like the IQ, Geron. Assess that the guy you're supposed to block is gone. Go help somebody else. Free them up so they can go help somebody else. And it's just help me help you. Now somebody just need to help Lamar Jackson. Now even though the next few minutes will convince you otherwise, I do want to show y'all that he has some evidence of decent run blocking. He is located at the left tackle, and when he really applies himself, he can be a competent run blocker. He didn't get off the ball like we wanted him to. A little passive off the snap right here. But he engages, and he got the job done here. Sadly, this is not very common. He gets pushed back or disengaged more times than not on run blocking assignments. But it's a mix of mental, technical problems that can be corrected. And it's also his below average strength. But Bill Callahan should be able to get this out of him consistently. And as I always say, this wouldn't be a real film session if we didn't also point out the negatives. He's located at the left tackle position, and I just want to show y'all a few examples of how he struggles with powerful rushes at times. Sometimes he handles them, but there's a lot of examples out there in this film of him losing to powerful rushes. Right here, he gets pushed back into the pocket. And that happens way too often in his film. He gets thrown back into Lamar Jackson's lap when a rusher is using pure power and no finesse. Geron held his own long enough to keep pressure off of Lamar on this play, but more times than not, he gets pushed back into Lamar's lap, allowing the rusher to disrupt the play. He technically wins the battle because Lamar Jackson goes untouched, but y'all can see the danger in how he's getting bullied right here. Example 2. He is the right tackle, and it's self-explanatory. He just simply gets bull rushed into Lamar's lap. Again, he just simply gets overpowered. Moving on to the next example. Getting another snap at left tackle. He simply gets bullied into a back pedal like he was dropping back in zone coverage. This man Geron gets bullied into running a cornerback drill. Help him. Looked like he was starting to do the jerk. Geron looks like he weighed half as much as the defensive lineman the way he got ragdolled backwards. Now the center did make it worse by pushing the defender into Geron, but I still need better results than this. That center has a check coming in the mail from Clemson, but still, Geron, you shouldn't have been flung backwards like that. You gotta at least have enough pride to not crip walk backwards into your quarterback. Just establish a better base, get your legs reset, and just try again. But Bill Callahan can help with this. This is fixable. Now there is a trend here that most of his struggles against powerful rushes are against Clemson, who has arguably the best defensive line in college football, and they're all returning next year, and a few of them could have gone in the draft last year. But you got to be judged against the best of the best, and when he goes to the NFL, for us, this coming year, if he ever has to play, he'll be going against people that are better than the Clemson defensive line. So we have to analyze this and see it for the truth that it is. He is located at the left tackle, and this is the very next play from the previous play I showed y'all. And he simply gets bullied again. And not only that, your blocking responsibility is the one that makes the play. Let y'all see it in regular motion, how he just gets bullied, thrown out the way, and his quarterback is the one that suffers for it. Y'all was supposed to park the red seat for Lamar Jackson, and it looks like y'all Willie beaming them, like on any given Sunday. Not only did you get out muscle, but you used them to use violent hands right here, get rid of you, and go make the play. You almost got your quarterback killed out there blocking like that. Somebody, please, help this man. And now he's just sitting there watching like, oh, look what I've done. He looked at the sideline, looked back down like, I don't even want to hear the coach yelling at me. Hey, Geron, I'm going to stop picking on you, but I ain't going to hold you. This is all from the same game again. But this is the last example. I'm going to stop picking on you about this after this. I just got to reiterate it so that the people watching this video, Redskins fans, or just NFL enthusiasts, offensive lineman enthusiasts, I just want them to realize that you need help on these power rushes. Especially, I definitely need the Redskins coaching staff, Bill Callahan specifically, to know that he needs to drill this into your head. You might just need to run a bunch of Oklahoma drills. Geron Christian is located as the right tackle, and somebody, please, help that man. Now granted, he gave Lamar Jackson almost 4 seconds of time to throw the ball, which is a good amount of time to get the ball off, but still, you should not be getting dominated this badly. Now even though I have clearly shown y'all 5 examples of him getting bull rushed into oblivion, this is not an every play thing. He holds up against bull rushes a decent amount every game. But I just want to show y'all that this may be an alarming weakness that we need to take care of. It has appeared on film many times in many situations, whether he's at right tackle or left tackle. And if Bill Callahan is somehow watching this film, first of all, shouts out to you. Second of all, please coach this up. Help this man. If Trent or Morgan Moses go down for some reason, knocking on wood, this is the man that's going to be protecting Alex Smith, who you just committed to for 4 years. Now I want to take a look at his inconsistent strength. He's the left tackle on this snap, and you can see him win this battle off of pure strength and power and willpower. I want more technique. I want better hand placement. Get your hands in the middle of this man's chest and control him. But without even having control of the defensive lineman, he still managed to get him off the ball after an initial tussle. I would also like for him to have some powerful pop with his hands off the snap. I want more of a punch from him when he initially engages with the defensive lineman. But he is still able to overpower him with pure strength and determination and get him off the line of scrimmage and run block. And then, just a couple of plays later, left tackle position, he lost a line of scrimmage battle pretty badly here. Just out-muscled, pushed backwards. Located right here, he just gets pushed back. He gave Lamar Jackson time, but as the tussle continues and as the edge rusher resets, Geron loses leverage and goes back 3 yards. Again, he held his own. He technically won the battle, but we have to look at this and see the concerns for his strength. Now, as I previously mentioned in passing, Geron has a bad habit of catching rushers rather than punching them. He's located at the right tackle here, and what could help him with being less powerful than the guys he's usually blocking is him jumping off the snap and punching the defender rather than allowing the defender to come to him and trying to block them from there. If he got off the ball and viciously attacked the defender in front of him, rather than waiting for the defender to attack him and having to practically use recovery strength only to control the defensive lineman and complete the block, he'd be way more successful. I want him to go off the snap and punch the defender, not just wait for him to come to you. But that's very coachable. And with him catching rushers rather than punching them, he tends to get popped by rushers. And sometimes even by rushers that are clearly smaller than him. He's located at the left tackle here, and he's not supposed to get popped back like that. You saw the way his head jerked back? This man is way smaller than you. You should not be getting jerked back like that. That little jerk right there. Especially since your arms are longer than his. You can reach him before he reaches you. You need to attack this man off the snap. And as a result of him not punching him, he gets pushed back by somebody that is clearly smaller than him. I know it's pass block and he's trying to move backwards to cover the ground to create good enough space and have a base for when the rusher reaches him. But even as you're backpedaling or sidestepping, you should be able to time when the rusher's getting there and go up and pop him. But this looks to be a running play. He should have driven this man off the line of scrimmage and won the battle that way. And then his below average recovery strength just doesn't help at all. Even after he gets popped, he has a chance right here to pop his legs back and reestablish leverage. Or if he just had enough pure recovery strength, he could have pushed this man back just off that. But he didn't have the strength or the idea to reestablish leverage, so he ends up getting pushed back some more and almost allowing the entire play to be disrupted. Number 7 had to go back another 3 yards just to avoid getting mutilated. All of this could be avoided if he simply exploded off the ball and popped this rusher in the chest and then began to drive his feet. He's smaller than you, Geron, and you have help. Y'all should have took this man lunch money on the field. I need Geron to be vicious enough to not allow this to happen if he's not going to do it with strength or technique. But again, common theme with a lot of Redskins picks, a lot of their weaknesses are coachable. Now, due to his lack of dominant strength and his lack of proper run blocking technique, this and many other examples that I don't have included in this film session show him getting stood up while trying to run block. He is located right here, and as they double team this man, he still gets stood up. This is not proper run blocking stance right here. This is not the technique. That's not the one, Geron. That's not it. His technique in run blocking is great. There's a few things to work on, but overall it's pretty good. But when asked to run block, it gets ugly. If he popped off the snap like I've been preaching and attacked and punched the defensive lineman in front of him and stayed low, this right here would not have been the result. If somebody that didn't really know football and didn't know better, they would assume you were the one being blocked. What is going on here? You over here leaning back. Again, he technically won the battle. He had help, and his blocking assignment did not make the play. He technically got the man off the line of scrimmage, but it's just the ugliest looking win of all time. I'm gonna need him to polish this up, stay low, attack the defender, and not get stood up like this. This happens to him a lot, but again, very coachable. And the final point I'm gonna prove in this film session, but definitely not the least important. It's one of the basic fundamentals that should be utilized, but Geron does not consistently do it at all. And in fact, he actually rarely does it. He's located at the right tackle position, and for some reason, he tends to grab rushers by the outside of their shoulder pads. This man's giving him a hug. And even beyond how weird it looks, his hands are far too high and far too wide for him to truly control the rusher. This is where a lot of his strength problems come from. This right here. These are also walking a thin line of getting holding calls. But more importantly, he isn't giving himself the best chance at winning the battle and controlling the rusher. He still wins the battle just purely off athleticism and footwork, but proper technique would allow him to dominate this rusher. Offensive tackle is such a technical position, and some of the greats win just purely off of flawless technique. But there's nobody winning consistently just off of pure athleticism. He has a lot of the fundamentals that are hard to teach down, like stance, keeping his back straight, and at an angle to get as much leverage as possible, keeping his feet aligned with his shoulders, keeping his knees bent just enough, keeping his head up. But he doesn't punch, and he doesn't consistently get his hands in the rusher's chest, which takes away a lot of the control he should have over the edge rusher. Look at this hug he's giving him. I don't even know why the edge rusher allowed himself to be blocked this way. But Bill Callahan can definitely fix this though. If there's any offensive line coach out there that can, it's Bill Callahan. It rhymed for a reason, y'all. I'm not making this stuff up. Now let's get to the positive. His arm length of 35 inches is very long for offensive line. It can be used to dominate rushers. But sadly, he doesn't use his arms to his advantage for some reason. But you can't teach arm length. But you can teach him how to use them once you have them. Along with his long arms, he has exceptional footwork that is more than likely due to his high basketball play before deciding to go all in at football. His athleticism gives him a ceiling that is higher than many offensive linemen drafted before him in the 2018 draft, who are better offensive linemen as of today, but don't have much room to improve. Geron has traits and athletic ability that can turn him into an elite offensive tackle if tuned up and coached right. And what better coach to get the most out of Geron than Bill Callahan? And luckily for us and Coach Callahan, Geron isn't just this extremely athletic but very raw project. He already has some of the technical side down pat. He just needs to work on his punch and work on staying low and run block. Also, as a cherry on top, he has plenty of experience running right tackle and left tackle. He often spent half his snaps at the right and half it left any given game. Not only did he run both throughout a single season, but he would switch back and forth in game, and he did so smoothly. There was no drop off in production when he switched to the other side. That's not just impressive athletically, with having to do that far slide to counter speedy edge rushers in two different directions, while a lot of offensive linemen can't even do it in one direction, but it's also very mentally impressive. Imagine being very good at something and then having to learn how to do it the exact opposite way and being just as effective at it. This is a rare attribute of his. Now the negatives. He struggles with the strength parts of being an offensive lineman and the aggressive parts of being an offensive lineman. That's including run blocking and dealing with bull rushing edge rushers. In run blocking, he doesn't attack rushers off the snap. He doesn't shoot off the snap and stay low throughout the block. He gets off the ball passively, then he gets popped, and he often gets stood up at some point in the run blocking, losing all leverage and having to rely on his below average recovery strength in order to be even somewhat effective. In pass blocking, he tends to catch edge rushers once they attack him. He doesn't punch them and control them from the chest. He tends to grab edge rushers at the outside of their shoulder pads at times. So this all leads to him not being very good at controlling edge rushers the way he should be able to with his great arm length and athleticism. Now his projection. His ability to be very effective at both right tackle and left tackle in pass blocking gives us the flexibility to plug him in at either position if there's an injury to Trent Williams or Morgan Moses. And with how injuries went last year, we needed his talents very much last year, but we got him 1 year late, and at least we have him now. And he won't even be thrown into the wolves immediately. He can work on technique and nuances with time and coaching from one of the best offensive line coaches in the game, if not the best offensive line coach in the game. His pass blocking is usually great, but his run blocking technique and strength needs a lot of work. Also, with his rare athleticism and basketball experience, he could be very good at blocking at the next level. He can get down the field fast and smoothly to block DBs and linebackers when necessary, similar to how Trent does so for the Redskins already. But all in all, he definitely will make the 53-man roster. Not even just for his talent and potential, but also because of an urgent team need due to last year's injury bug. But also, his ceiling is very high, and I'm excited to see how he progresses over the next couple of years. If he can reach his potential, he can be a much cheaper, more efficient option than Morgan Moses if he is asking for much more money than the Redskins want to give him due to these market increases every offseason. Offensive linemen out here getting that bag, y'all. And I really like Morgan Moses a lot, but Geron can possibly grow to a cheaper version of Morgan Moses in the future with how much money veteran offensive linemen are getting these days. That's just speculation though. For this year, I'm just hoping Trent and Morgan can stay healthy and keep Geron off the field as long as possible and let him grow and polish until he is ready. We don't want that man I just showed y'all film on going out there and blocking J.J. Watt, Calais Campbell, or Chandler Jones this year. All three of them are on our schedule, and that's just the tip of the iceberg of defensive linemen we have to block against this coming season. But all in all, I do like the pick. I'm a little sad it had to be in the 3rd round, but I am glad we have him. He is a great backup option right now, and he can grow to be a future elite Pro Bowl tackle in this league that can play either left or right whenever needed, which is a very rare quality to have in a tackle, especially with the Redskins probably designating 4 strict tackle positions to our depth chart this coming season, to our 53-man roster. We're going to need as many offensive linemen to be able to play multiple roles as possible. That's the end of this film session. Thanks for sticking in there. I know offensive lineman is not very entertaining to a lot of people. I personally love watching offensive linemen. Pretty much any position on the field I love to analyze. I just love football, period. I can watch any position for an extended period of time, so I had fun doing this film session. But thank you for reaching the end. Get in them comments and let me know if y'all agree or disagree with any of my points. If you agree or disagree that this was a good pickup for the Redskins, just get in them comments and let your voice be heard. I'm trying to make sure I definitely get this Darius Geis and Deron Payne film sessions out to y'all as soon as possible. Still very busy, but I'm going to do what I got to do to get this out for y'all, especially with y'all being so dedicated and constantly coming to watch my videos and getting in them comment sections and keeping the activity buzzing in there too. Thank y'all, everybody. As of right now, I'm trying to coordinate a fantasy league for my most dedicated and loyal and consistent subscribers and commenters. So I'm trying to get that situated and organized. I'm thinking about doing a 10-man league, and I'll let y'all know how that goes. I'm trying to figure out how to direct message some of the people that I really want to have in the league, and then after that we can figure out how to fill the rest of the spots if we don't reach the 10, but I'm pretty sure we will anyway. But again, thanks for the view. Make sure y'all Dolomite fake punch that like button, favorite, subscribe, I'll subscribe back, and thank y'all for the view. Catch y'all later. I'm out.